much do you want for this?
Ain't taking no picture, man. He doing a video.
I feel like you can't stop. Like everybody got their own like little thing.
So everybody pull up. We active right now on the other side of the building.
There wouldn't be us without y'all.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy DJ from Status. You're probably wondering why we're sitting here right now. My boy Long hit us up like a week or 2 weeks ago. He asked us if we wanted to do a podcast. So we're here now, and I got my boy
Leak.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking fashion, clothes, everything. So we're just gonna get right into it. You mess with Supreme? How you feeling about the new Supreme drop?
I'm really digging it, honestly. After looking at the lookbook and just the recent photos they posted on Instagram, and I think yesterday was their first official release, their first official drop of the year, I was impressed.
Yeah, that's good. I personally like it. I feel like some of the pieces was a little bit rushed, like I was saying in our TikTok videos with the Spider-Man one. Yeah, the Spider-Man one, I feel like they just did anything. I feel like they really only tried on the jacket and not the hoodies or anything else.
Yeah, and I will be honest, I think with fashion specifically, even when like brands specifically are coming out with their lookbooks and their newer releases, it takes me time to digest it. So even where it's like I have that initial opinion of like what I see and how I feel, maybe based off of what I like and don't like, always remember like this is art in a way. So I always try to digest it in a way, or maybe go back and interpret it in maybe a way I didn't the first time. Even what you mentioned with the Spider-Man jacket, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know they had hoodies. I thought it was just the jacket. So that lets me know I got to go back in to look at more, and then to kind of like maybe get a different feeling versus like that initial one that you had when you looked at it. So that's just, I don't know, that's just it's opinion based though. That's how I feel like looking at newer releases and newer drops that brands are doing. But Supreme did not disappoint in my opinion.
Supreme never disappoint. I feel like every year they do their own thing. Like, yeah, sometimes it get repetitive, but it's like, it's Supreme. No one's not going to say nothing. Everyone loves it at the end of the day. So, and it is still one of the best brands to ever come out. So
Yeah, I honestly agree as well. What would be like your favorite so far that you've seen from like, not in general, from this drop specifically, what would be your favorite piece or your go-to? Or
like from this season or just like overall?
No, this one right now.
This one
like
right
this
now.
newer drop.
To start off the bat, of course, it would be the Spider-Man underwear. It's like, come on.
Okay. I like that. I
feel like everyone would love those. Everyone would go for those. I would also say, damn, what else they had? I actually pretty like the accessories. I feel like the torch, the Supreme torch is pretty cool. The mic is cool.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the casket? I feel like that was controversy for real.
The casket. Now, for me, I actually like the casket a lot. I think it is very expected for Supreme. If you look at some of their earlier, or just look at the history of Supreme and the accessories that they've released, I don't know, I feel like they've almost done everything as far as just like, whether it be not collaboration specifically, but as far as like those accessories. So I think adding a casket to that is brilliant. Like, I can't wait to see someone actually get buried in it. RIP prior to whoever is going to be laid to rest in that beautiful casket. And you got to be in a box logo. It's only right. If you're going to die in the Supreme casket, you need to die also in the box logo. It's a necessity.
But which box logo though? There's so many.
That's what I'm saying, and that's where it gets tricky. Like, you've already taken it as far as enough to get buried in the Supreme casket. So it's like, at this point, you can go friends and family box logo, and there's so many. Like, you can go like Supreme, like the Supreme. Well, no, that's the Supreme. I'm sorry, the LV Supreme collab box. That was one of the iconic ones, honestly.
That is the most faked one too. You know how many fake Supreme like LV hoodies went around during that time? It's so crazy.
And I do have a question since we're just talking. Do you feel like there is, because I remember coming up, even when I first had an interest in Supreme, there was a real demand as far as fake Supreme as well going around. Do you think that now there's still that same demand, like as far as like fake Supreme floating around?
I feel like not as much. I don't know. Like, I feel like it got more easier to get Supreme. I feel like certain items get faked a lot. Like, let's say like certain collabs, like a Vancin collab or a BB Simon collab, and don't want to pay the retail. That would probably get faked because it's not a lot of quantity of them. It's just very little. So
yeah,
I feel like there's not really a lot. But at the end of the day, there's fakes of everything now.
Yeah.
Like, it's so overpopulated. And it's crazy. Since we're on this topic, How do you feel about like people wearing reps or people just wanting to do that?
That is a great question. I'm gonna be honest now, especially where social media has gone. Like currently, I've seen and come across certain pages where they're trying to make it acceptable to buy reps and to even kind of like bash people who are actually spending the full price, going into the retail store, paying the high for whatever product. They're looking down on them like, hey, you're stupid for paying the high when you could just cut corners and buy this fake item, which I think is crazy. When I was growing up, that was uncalled for. That was like, if you were caught wearing something fake, that's a super red flag. Like you don't get caught wearing fakes. That was just in my era of things. So now that you grow and people are like kind of like widely accepting it, I think it's kind of bizarre in a way. Kind of bizarre. I don't like to judge because it's to each his own. I love to follow that thought as far as like you do what you want. But I also follow another thought. If you cannot purchase whatever item from, not as far as the retailer, but if you cannot get the authentic, genuine item, maybe it's best to just find another brand that you could afford.
I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke.
Something. There's always mediums in fashion, and I think that's where people sometimes mess up. Is thinking they gotta get the top brand, they gotta get it, and it's never really like that. So
yeah, I feel the same way, bro. I feel like with fashion nowadays, a lot of people get away with wanting to wear reps or fakes. And it's like, back then growing up, it's like, if you was wearing fakes, bro, it's like, I don't know, you would really get flamed.
Yeah.
So, it's like now having it be cool, it's like, bro, it's just like a slap in the face to people that really like clothes. And it's like, at the end of the day, I don't really care. You can say what you want to say about whatever fashion related. It don't really matter. I just feel like, yeah, you should wear what you want to wear. But it's like, at the end of the day, when people just get into fashion and you want to do straight into reps or go fakes, is like you're not even taking the time to learn your history. You're just jumping straight into it. So literally, it's like, of course, when you're wearing reps and you're wearing all that, you look fucking retarded.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Because you don't know the history. You don't know nothing.
Yeah. It's like cutting corners. It really is. It's like, honestly, I think one thing about fashion, I mean, you call it what you want, being authentic to yourself. Cutting corners is taking the fun away from it. It's taking that genuineness. It's taking the true beauty of what a lot of us do it for, and that's to maybe express a better side of ourselves. If you're cutting corners, it's just like, you might as well say you cheating on your homework, you cheating on your tests, and cheating only gonna get you but so far.
It's a fact. But obviously you can see me and Lee could talk about this all day. Now that we're on the brand, my bad. Now that we're on the topic of brands and speaking Supreme, talking reps, let's talk, what's your top 3 brands that you wear realistically, not what the internet sees?
All right. Okay. 3 brands that I think I wear, and not even think that I know I wear a lot. Balenciaga, yes, would be one. I favorite Balenciaga one for the silhouettes. Not even so much more of like an aesthetic. To a degree, yes, but I do love the silhouettes that Balenciaga pushes as far as like the oversized, but yet sometimes they come in with a little more like slim, and they play with sizes and different silhouettes and color. Not colors, I'm sorry, but just like the all-around shape of how a garment will fit you and how it will look and present to someone else, the public. I love Miu Miu. I do not own any Miu Miu, but I pay attention very well. That will be another one. And I would say last, I'm gonna throw it in there, Supreme. Since being on the topic, Supreme would be the last one.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah. I gotta ask you, what about you?
There's so many brands, because I feel like, I don't want to say I wore everything, but I feel like I wore every brand that I like. But I feel like for me now, personally, I'll say Supreme, because I wore Supreme damn near my whole life. I'll go Supreme. I really would go like Balenci, of course. Like, I feel like everyone like Balenci, but I feel like everyone like Balenci in their own way. And I don't like the over dramatic shit, like where it just screams Balenciaga. I kind of like the more simpler pieces, like it's just a little logo, a little something.
Literally.
My third, I'm gonna have to go like Nigo era Bape. I feel like Nigo really changed the swag up for like, nobody really gets it. Like, I would say, me personally, he's literally one of the greatest. Because it's like, bro, he brought, like, I don't know, he just brought, like, the Tokyo streetwear to USA. And it's like, it's so crazy how it just adapted the streetwear culture and how everything is now with, you know, him meeting Pharrell and Kanye and just everything changing, bro.
I believe it.
It's crazy.
I feel like Nigo being one of the tastemakers in the streetwear like field. You know, he's definitely one of the tastemakers and one of the creators, founders, nonetheless. So yeah, I like that last that last one is when you said bait. Yo, we just talked about, your top 3 favorite brands, but what do you think, like, the top 3 brands that are like kind of buzzing right now are? Like, how do you feel about that?
The top 3 right now, I would feel like obviously number 1 is GV.
Yeah.
There's really not a talk for real. I feel like the top 3 you should already know is GV, Greedy Unit, and Happy Memories. Like, I feel like those are talk of the towns for real. To each his own though. Like, I feel like other people are gonna say other stuff, but it's like to social media presence and what they're doing, and even in resale stores and everything, they got the ball right now.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I like that one. And I said Greedy Unit. I love Greedy Unit as well. I caught wind of them very early on when they were just pushing the ski mask. Very early on, and to see them grow as a brand to where they are now with the collaborations, a lot of the pieces they've been pushing, is just, I love it. The consistency. I remember one fashion week I had the chance to meet the owner, super cool dude. Don't remember his name, but I remember the conversation we had, super chill. Now, gallery department, I'm sorry, GV Gallery, Raspberry Hill, has been really holding it down, honestly. If you are not familiar, I feel like you may have seen some of the more iconic pieces that they've been pushing, and just the consistency. So when he says that, as far as like being one of like the more top brands like in rotation right now, like the stats match up. The recent collaboration I just saw with Nike and GV did not disappoint at all, and just the consistency I see from that brand, I think they'll be around for a while.
This was good.
Yeah. And I don't know, I was just being in the store working at Status, we see a lot of newer brands like, just like, how would I say? I don't say like
so many new brands.
Yeah, just so many new brands.
So many new brands every day.
I was thinking about right now the Project GR. That would be something I want to see more from them this year. But I want to throw them in the mix as far as like, one of the brands who are kind of buzzing, just because like I see their social media presence. I see like, different people wearing some of the stuff. I'm just interested to see what else more they can do and how long and how, like, I guess how consistent they can be. But so far, I have not been upset from what they've been putting out.
Yeah, Project GR is a really good brand, especially from the stuff that we have in the store.
Yeah,
it's like really great. Like, I feel like we just bought it in this one piece. It's like, you know which one.
Yeah,
the camo one.
Yeah, you talking about the reversible. Yeah, now this is like I don't know. It reminds me of like early like Ventmont, like where it's just like oversized in a perfect way, and it's reversible where it has like that. It's like the gray, black, and
I feel like
camo or something.
I feel like we could. Hold on. Can I show them?
The jacket?
The jacket. It's right there. That's why.
All right, let's do it.
This jacket right here is the jacket that me and Leaker are talking about.
It's honestly, you gotta like zip it down. That reversible inside, it's like padded in a way that, gosh, I don't know. It's fun for me. It's fun for me.
I don't know. Like, this piece is like crazy. Like, I like the gray side more. I do like the camo like coat side, but I feel like this is more like New York City. You wearing it in New York, it's cold. Like, I like this gray hoodie side. I would wear this side a little bit more. This just goes with a lot more stuff. I just like this piece. Like, if this piece was my size, it would not be in this store. Just know that. We talked about the Project GR. Now that we're on the topic and speaking about that, do you feel like, streetwear is becoming the new luxury because it's not cheap? Project GR is not cheap.
Yeah, I mean, you just got a real good point there. I think it's hard to really kind of pinpoint, and I think what really makes that what it is the influence behind it and how the brand is pushing whatever they're trying to push. Streetwear itself to me is more like of an aesthetic, more of like, I mean, it's labeled under different things, but where you have, let's say, a brand pushing something to a higher market, it blends into like a higher fashion sense, or what we could label as designer, based off of, I think, the consumer base, who your consumer is and who's buying. So I guess to generally answer your question, yes. I think streetwear is becoming the new designer because it's hard to pinpoint where you have a brand where it's like, all right, let's look at it. LV, for instance, where, okay, strictly luxury, high fashion brand, but you dabble into streetwear now, and you're pushing, and now you're changing the standards in a way where it's like, well, that is streetwear. It's Louis Vuitton, of course, but it is streetwear, and I think it blends in such a way where it's like now you can't really tell. It's all mixed in one pot, which is just general fashion now. So yeah, I think it's all mixed in. I think yes, streetwear will be considered the new designer. And you have like a lot of like newer brands coming up, and it's easier for them to kind of clamp or like grasp to the name as far as high fashion because of like maybe who you're catering to. You getting athletes in your clothes now.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I feel like streetwear in general, or just like even with this new generation, it's like back in the day growing up, it's like getting fly was different. Like you would go get a Truey set, or you would go to H&M, or you know, you would go somewhere in the mall and get fly. Now it's like the kids now, it's like, you know, they're seeing, like you said, NBA players wear certain brands, even influencers on Instagram, even people that's around them. So it's like now it's like these kids want LVs, they want Rick Owens, they want all this, and they're like, you know, in middle school or like high school, and they're doing it. You see these, you see the kids that come in the store, they're like, it's crazy.
He's not lying, man. When you think about it like that, you got a real good point, because growing up, and not even to make it more personal, but I think a part of what fashion was making do with what you had. And a part of streetwear is that it takes down like where you have high fashion, and the price points that they put this at it becomes unobtainable to the average person. So now you equate streetwear where it's like more affordable in a way, you know, more affordable, but we make something out of nothing. Now you're taking like a more urban look, or however more urban take, and you're making it fashionable in a sense, you know, because it's what you have. You know, you don't have the means to buy this and that. And in a way, I feel like brands have learned to market that and to be profitable off of that. Like, okay, we know that everyday aesthetic sells. We know that street style sells. So let's market it. Let's make it profitable. And that's where I say it blends, because it's who's to tell, you know. Where it's like the corner boys aesthetic, where like, you know, you sagging your pants, and you know it's more of a dope boy style, which was in my area, that's streetwear, you know. But now it's like they're putting this in a way where it's at the forefront. They're sending that down the runway now, and who's to say if you slap a label on it, it becomes high fashion.
Yeah. Just to go back on what you said that aesthetic sells. That's actually a really good thing. Yeah. Because it's so true now. Because it's like, let's just talk for real. People, when they start these brands, it's like, I feel like it's a money grab. I feel like there's people out here that's just doing clothes because they're seeing other people make clothes, and they're just, this person made clothes and they're super rich doing all this. I'm gonna go do it. Let me go do it. So it's like, I just feel like now aesthetic really sells, because it's like people nowadays don't even care what it looked like. Not even to bring this up, but Hellstar, for example, everyone was wearing it. There's some demonic things on it. People got their way about it. There's people that's gonna wear it. There's people that's gonna buy it.
Yeah,
because
very true.
They don't care.
Yeah,
feel me? Just like people with, let's say, what we wear, Balenciaga had that whole thing.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah,
there's people that still buy it. There's people that don't buy it. Even with Rick Owens, there's people that buy it. There's people that don't buy it.
I think that'll always be like that with brands, like people having that choice. Well, not choice, yes, but that idea, like, okay, I won't wear that because of whatever message they follow, or okay, I like this because I believe in that, and it's all like, in a way, subjective. It is. It's all kind of however you interpret it, whatever you choose to believe. We were just talking about aesthetics, man, but I do want to know, what do you feel about current trends right now? Like, what are your some of your favorite trends and your worst trends? Like the ones you hate to see.
Oh,
I know you got a lot.
I feel like, damn, there's so many to hate, bro. There's so many trends that go around that fucking suck, bro. So how would I even start this, bro? Not being yourself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't be themselves.
Yeah.
They put on this act for social media, and they're not really that.
Yeah.
I would say that's one. Fast, let's talk clothes. That's just personal. Let's talk clothes. Bro, just copying any trend. Like, I feel like you just need to be you. If you want to wear baggy jeans, bro, wear your baggy jeans. Just because you see someone wear skinnies and that's what everyone else doing, go wear that. Just like now. Now it's popular to wear archive clothing. Like, yes, it's been around for as long as it's been around, but it's like people 2-3 years ago didn't give a fuck about Hysteric Glamour, number 9 and none of that, or Mason Margiela Futures. Let's talk about that. Mason Margiela Futures. I personally don't hate them, but they're not for me. But it's like, none of y'all gave a flying fuck about them.
I could see you on some future stuff. You could definitely stop some.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like a lot of people didn't give a fuck about them, and it's like everyone loves them.
Yeah,
You
but
see
that's
everyone with them.
also like when we get into trends, and even with the generation, because all right, I'm a little up there. I'm in my later half of my 20s, but I realized with the early 20 people, they are not as knowledgeable. They're not as knowledgeable, so they clasp on, they literally will follow anything they find trendy because it's a lack of knowledge. I think one thing that I say my generation but when I was in high school, we would spend so much time looking up stuff. Of course, we had no means to get it, but we would be so knowledgeable on so many things before we even had the money to buy it. So when we did, we were this, that, and that's what I think for a lot of us created that authenticity that we carry, and what kind of helped us kind of stay away from the trends specifically is because there's you realize when you do your history, there's so much behind there. Like, you don't have to just stick with one thing. Like, oh, you could do that, or even to think that a lot of what we see has already been done.
Yes. Another trend I feel like is controversial because a lot of people wear it, including I have a piece from it.
What are we talking about?
Chrome hearts.
Chrome.
I feel like chrome hearts is cool, but not every piece is cool. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I feel like, okay, we get it. You're rich. You can afford to buy some
but
shit.
as he says this, I do want to chime in and say this. As like I'm starting to learn more about chrome heart, I look at chrome heart, and now hear me. I look at chrome heart like I look at a Tesla. It's a lifestyle choice. It is a lifestyle choice. So hear me when I say that. Like, I was inquiring about a car, and I really do want a Tesla, but I had to look at everything around my life and what that entailed. Like, okay, me having a Tesla, like, I feel like in that realm, such as chrome hearts, and it has to kind of match up. Like, you got dudes who going great lengths to try to like fit this aesthetic or fit this trend, knowing that it just really doesn't match up. And me personally, I don't like that. I think just again, like, being more authentic, but also just knowing like, okay, where you are in your life is okay to love and want certain things, but also just knowing where you are in your life. Maybe sometimes just waiting a little bit, holding out a little bit, like starting small and then growing to like, something bigger is a little more authentic, just to me.
You said chrome hearts is like a Tesla. It's like a lifestyle aesthetic.
I did say that.
What is the trends that you hate?
So some trends that I don't like too much. Let me get deep into this. Not too deep though. All right. So one trend I don't like: the Vans. I love Vans. I grew up wearing Vans, man. We could date back. Oh my God. That's all I wore at one point. But I think now where it's like, of course, Vans is kind of rebranded in a way, kind of put in like pearlized Vans and just, various colorways. And now it's becoming like vamped up in it. I don't want to sound like a hater, because I remember being in high school when this first happened, and Vans became like popular and everyone wanted skate highs, and it was very exciting. But then it's like, are you really into it? That's, I think, the question I have.
That's actually good.
Like, do you really like this, or do you just like the way everyone, like, it just becomes like trendy in a way?
Yeah.
And it's like it takes away from what is actually the product actually is. Okay, nonetheless, it's just shoes. But when you have so many people like, okay, I see this person doing it, I want to do it, now I want to do it. It's just like, it takes away. It just kills the vibe.
I feel like, just like what you were saying with the Vans, do you really like Vans, or do you just like it because it's pearlized?
It's literally because everybody.
You feel me? I love Vans. I've been wearing Vans since I was a child. It's just like, okay, you overdid it with the pearlized Vans. We get it. We love you, but
Yeah.
something new. You feel me? I feel
Yeah.
like it should have stopped at the Satoshi or the after colors y'all did, the marshmallow and the black. I feel like after that, y'all should have cut it.
Yeah.
Y'all started doing, y'all could have just did the Chanel after that.
Yeah.
Even with the Chanel, I feel like they did too much. They still doing too much.
Yeah,
with it.
because they see that it works, and that's another thing with a brand. But we can get into that topic later because it could be long winded. But I wanted to also give. So what I said, Vans would be one of them. Another trend that I hate. Let me think. I don't want to think too much. Rick. Ooh wee. Rick Owens. The trend, man. I love Rick Owens. And look, since we talking about it.
Yeah, we are.
Man, I just don't like how y'all doing Rick, man. Even where it's just like, if you follow the history behind Rick Owens, you will understand to a degree how it's interpreted and it was supposed to be. It was intended, like the vision. Nonetheless, when brands put out lookbooks and things, there's a vision intended. Now, when you follow some of the vision, you get a better understanding of like what these garments mean and how they are supposed to be worn. But then to the everyday public, again, like people just like it because of maybe they just like the way it was given. So now you have people trying to squeeze into things that was never supposed to be worn in this intent, trying to like kind of like, I don't know, it's just like force it in a way. It feels very forced. It does. It feels very forced. And now it's just like, I'll be honest, you kind of look stupid. And then your defense against that is, oh well, it's Rick Owens, and you know who's going to tell you something when you paid X amount of dollars for whatever. So that would be another one. I'll be honest, like just like I don't hate Rick Owens, like I really do love the brand. It was one of the first brands that like when I got into like the higher fashion idea of it, I was doing my research. I learned so much about the brand. I was like, okay, that is another brand that follows silhouettes. People don't understand that. So that would be like a second trend. I'm just like, oh gosh, like just know what you're doing.
I feel like I would agree with you because, you know, Rick is like, I don't know. It's like now seeing so many people do it. It's just like, I feel like people just wear Rick Owens because it's Rick Owens. Not even looking at the pieces. Like, bro, you'll see like, bro, anyone, they're just putting it on because it's Rick Owens. It can have a fucking shoulder. It can have anything. And
it doesn't matter.
Even if you're doing the crazy ass pieces with the shoulder, there's people that's styling it. You feel me? There's people out here wearing crazy Rick stuff with masks and putting on a Mary jeans with it, with big ass Rick boots and all this crazy stuff. And it's just like, it's just kind of crazy. And I feel like I have a genuine real question for the people that's wearing the Rick, or even my real fashion heads. If you know about Rick, all I'm gonna say is Rick Owens slab. If you know about the Rick Owens slab, you know what it is, bro. That's it.
Hold on,
bro.
Zany boss, suicide door, brand new bag. College girls, give a nigga head in my ride. Rockstar life, so much.
You know what the Rick Owens slab is? That's real Rick. But so we're not gonna talk about
the history. That's what I'm saying. It ain't nothing but some research. And I don't knock anybody because I also have the perspective of fashion being subjective. You do what you want, but it almost comes off as like half stepping in a way, because just like you wouldn't really I don't know, like back then we wearing band tees. Again, I remember like I would make it a thing, like if I bought a band tee, I would always try to find at least 3 to 4 songs about this band. So if anybody will ever ask me, I would be like, bro, it'd be like, yo, you got a Grateful Dead shirt, name a Grateful Dead song, and I'd be like, oh, like
You're a phony. Hey, this guy's a great big phone.
Yeah, but I feel like there's so many topics that we could talk about. We could obviously be here all day and talk fashion.
Literally,
talk a lot, but we don't have that much time today.
We don't. I want to say, while we're still on camera, this is our pilot. This is our first one. I want to say thank you, Long, for giving us the opportunity. For me, I know it's going to take some warming up just to be comfortable speaking consistently in front of the camera. Not naturally shy, but to follow these topics, to kind of give you guys something good to watch, something to talk about. We're just gonna have to keep revisiting, and we're gonna need you guys' feedback as well. So if you're watching this from wherever, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, please comment, let me know. We don't have a name
at all.
Yeah, we don't.
I feel like
honestly
we do need a name, which y'all should let us know in the comments. I just want to say this is my first time like really doing a podcast or just like showing personality. I feel like I'm a little nervous. I'm nervous when I do a lot of things, even when we do TikToks. Like I'm just a nervous ass person, but it's just like I want to say thank you to Long.
Shout out Green.
Shout out Green.
Yeah.
Shout out Green. All this wouldn't have happened without Green. Shout out Status. Shout out everyone that work here.
Yeah.
We're gonna subscribe to the channel,
please,
and also shopstatus.store. We're gonna have more episodes come out. This is gonna be stuff we do normally. It's gonna take us some time to really get on it, but we're gonna have a great time. And if y'all love it, y'all like it, just give us some more topics in the comments that we should talk about, or whatever y'all want us to change. We're gonna try not to get canceled on here.
We're trying not to get canceled.
Yeah, if you want to see how I dress or just me, if you fuck with me in person, my name is DJ. My Instagram name is Young Forky. That's YUNG the number 4 ORKY.
Yeah. So right here, Leak Nino. Yeah, I want to say thank you, first of all, again. We could talk all day. Everybody knows I could talk, but let's wrap it up. Leak Nino on Instagram. Yeah, follow me. Yeah, I would love to think I have a cool style or whatever. Yeah, and we could talk fashion too if you have any questions or whatever. But please subscribe to this channel so we can get approved again.
And last thing.
again.
One last thing before we wrap this up. I want to say one more thing. If you ever see us in person, never be scared to say what's up. There's never no beef on internet when everyone do the whole hating thing. Like,
what?
I know we troll back in the TikTok
love
comments,
you guys.
but we
We
love
really
you guys.
do.
This is all, everything is all rage bait.
Yeah.
I know y'all may get upset at certain videos that we do, but everything is all rage bait. So please,
we're not
never
that
take it
opinionated.
serious.
Trust me,
Thank
not
you.
that opinionated. Honestly, I love everybody.
That's a wrap, guys.